Hey everyone, Tankenstein here, and welcome to Stock to Spaded. In this episode, I'll be showcasing the Whirlwind Mk.1. This is a currently rank 3 battle rating 3.7 air defense fighter in the Great Britain Air Force's tech tree, and is currently an optionally unlocked vehicle sitting in the same folder as the Brigand B1, which makes this perfect for Stock to Spaded. Now, with that being said, what I like to do in Stock to Spaded is bring these through at least 3 matches, with the first match being fully stock, second match being about halfway spaded, and the third match being fully spaded, so you can see whether or not this vehicle is worth even unlocking in the first place, and then if it's worth grinding through all the way to the end so you can make it spaded. And you might be wondering to yourself, what's the big difference between this and the currently marketplace available P9? And it's basically that the Whirlwind Mk.1 has about half of the ammunition that the P9 has, while still, for whatever reason, being the same BR. So that being said, let's get into a few matches here, see what we could do, and have a good time, as we always do. Let's get into it. So here we are, fully stocked with the Whirlwind P9 getting out of a giant cloud. And correct me if I'm wrong here, but if I'm not mistaken, being that this does have an air defense fighter spawn, you actually spawn higher up in the clouds than you would if you were in, for example, an interceptor. So this thing actually gets a really favorable air spawn compared to pretty much anything else out there, to the point where it's almost kind of like a semi-bomber spawn, which is just great. So I'm going to probably go for this guy. Okay, that's a B-25. Perfect. Ooh, you know what? I'm going to go over here, because there's going to be more targets. Now, being that you do get this air spawn, this air defense fighter air spawn, you actually get way more of an opportunity to take out aircraft, as one could imagine. Bombers. And so that's going to be largely what I'm going to do here. Now, unfortunately, being that I only have 4 20mm cannons with only 240 rounds in total, it's a little iffy on how much I can actually destroy here. But we're going to try, I'm going to go for this B-25 first, then this B-17. Most likely, at least. We'll see what happens. Let's dive down here. Hopefully, I don't get any sort of jibber-jabber. Okay, and severe damage. That'll work for me. Now we pull up. Now the engines on this thing really aren't that great. Look at those flaps right up front. That just looks fantastic, if you ask me. But I already have about half my ammo gone, unfortunately. So I'm going to go ahead and just fire a few shots across this guy's bow. See if we can get a few hits. Nope. And at this point, we're going to dive down. Don't have an air brake. Now, bear in mind, this is actually a late 30s design. So, even though it does, in my opinion, look pretty unique, pretty advanced, it really isn't, oddly enough. It's just, it's a heavy fighter from the beginning stages of World War II, and wasn't really used all too much beyond training roles. Okay, and here we have the B-17. I'm going to get a little bit closer. Like I said, I don't really have a ton of ammo here. So we're going to want to make sure that we kind of use it up wisely. Maybe set an engine on fire. Got that severe damage, and that is enough for me. That, to me, counts as a kill these days. I don't really see him as surviving all too long, so we're going to dive down. But as you can see, I don't really have much ammo left. 24 rounds. And was I really even all that inaccurate shooting at those aircraft? I don't think so. So that just kind of goes to show you that this thing does not have a lot of ammo, which sucks, you know. And I actually I have a gameplay out with the P9 variant of this aircraft, where, I mean, it rips enemies apart because it has so much more ammo, and because it has, like, what, 2 times the ammo that this variant has. Basically, I would still, right now, I would still have more ammo than this had fully stocked, like without firing any ammo, right? Which is just completely bonkers, and I'd still be up in the sky fighting, but because I don't get that extra ammo, I have to land now. So that said, I'm going to go land. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue on the fully stock match. I might just go halfway spaded just to kind of make this a somewhat quicker video. But just to kind of give you guys an idea, this thing is very fast. Well, I'm going to still be able to land successfully here. This thing is very fast. It's got an excellent air spawn. And thus far, the only thing that I'm really kind of disliking about it is the fact that it doesn't have a great amount of ammo. You know what? Screw it. We're still pretty much fully stocked here. I think all I have is the fuselage unlocked, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys one more time real quick how much of a beast this thing is, again, at these altitudes, being that it gets the air defense fighter air spawn, which is just fantastic. First kill, and let's turn. Hopefully we can get this B-25. Turning at this altitude is so smooth, so easy. And it's just, the rudder is a bit of a pain, in my opinion at least. We have ourselves our first nice things, and as you can see, again, we are, okay, there we go. Severe damage. We are a bit low on ammo, but that's all I wanted to show you guys. Again, fully stocked. Now let's get into the halfway spaded match. Well, you know what? I might make a move on this F8F down here, and then we can get into the halfway spaded. But I have very little ammo left, so chances that I get this guy are not that great. But overall, maneuverability is pretty good. I mean, it's not great. Oh, this isn't good. Oh, I thought I got myself a second kill, but I ended up ripping myself apart. And that is one of the big problems when you have a vehicle like this. If you do not control your aircraft speed, especially when you have that high of an air spawn, it can be a danger. So make sure you control your speed, especially with an aircraft like this. But as you guys hopefully know, Stock to Spade, I like to show realistic gameplay, and that includes me showing you the good stuff and the bad stuff, also some of the weaknesses, and yeah, that's one of the weaknesses. Control your speed, because sometimes that air spawn can be a little bit dangerous if you're not wise about it. So that said, let's get into the halfway spaded match. So here we are about halfway spaded with the Whirlwind, and I feel like this video is probably going to be me mostly killing bombers, because that's kind of what this thing is more or less set up to do. And you know, just my personal opinion of it, this vehicle, if you like killing bombers, I don't know if there's a better vehicle in War Thunder for doing it. It's just set up so perfectly for it, outside of the P9 edition, which itself is a marketplace vehicle, which can end up costing quite a bit. Now, that said, I really also wish that War Thunder, Gaijin, rather, would also bring into the game the Welkin, the Westland Welkin, which was an enormously high altitude aircraft that was kind of shaped similarly to this, except with much, much wider or longer wings. But we'll have to wait and see. But it looks like we have a few bombers here, heavy bombers, 3 of them. We'll see if my 240 rounds can take out any number of them, but let's just kind of, I guess, skip forward into that fight. Okay, so we have our first contestant rather, the B-20. Oh, that's a P-61. Okay, I'm not going to go head on with him. However, this B-25 is a little bit better for me to do. So let's see. Gonna go fire a few shots, and we have ourselves a likely kill. This guy is a terrible fighter escort, although I guess I feel like I'm a terrible fighter escort too. However, it's my job to take out bombers. He should have really been helping his buddy. Anyways, I'm not gonna fire more ammo on that, because I already have like only 40% of my ammo left. Like, this thing is pretty much gone insofar as my ammo is concerned, which is obviously a bad thing. I'm really surprised that that B-25 has not yielded a kill yet. I'm going to go for this P-51. I do really want to show this thing off versus actual fighters throughout this video, if possible. So hopefully we can do that. Also, I do have... There we go. We have ourselves a double strike. Should have a triple kill once that B-25 finally yields. But I do have the universal belts equipped. Really, none of the belt options on this thing are like clear winners, so to speak. So when fighting actual aircraft, you're not really going to have something that just sticks out to you. But that's all the ammo I have, actually. That really sucks. So I have to go fly back to base and hope I don't die to the guy who I just tried to kill. Because that would be really, really bad. And actually possibly quite likely here. Okay, we have ourselves a, what, second or third kill? Third kill. And again, bear in mind, 3.5. But you know what? I can't really be too upset. I'm a little upset because that would have been my kill, but whatever. And then we also have this guy right behind me in the 821. But ultimately, what I can tell you guys is that insofar as, like, I guess you might call it a boom and zoomer, being a boom and zoomer is concerned, this thing is quite good. It actually has much better maneuverability than you'd think, but it also bleeds energy incredibly quickly. Surprisingly quickly. To an extent that long-term air battles really are not going to be all too doable with it. And so, you know, that's why it's great versus bombers, because if you can just hit 2 bombers, maybe 3 bombers head-on, more or less, right at the beginning of the match, that's where you're going to get such a huge amount of your kills. And then dive down, you might have a little bit more ammo left, kind of like what I had here. And then you get lucky with maybe setting a plane on fire or 2, and you end up actually doing quite well in a very short amount of time. But this thing has such a quick burst, being that it only has 60 rounds per gun, that it just makes it a very difficult fighter to just engage in dogfights. You pretty much either have to take bombers out or go against enemies that are either defenseless or don't even know that you're there. Take enemies by surprise. That way you use as little ammunition as possible. So as said, assuming that this match is over, let's get into the fully spaded match. See what we can do. But this is one of the benefits of having a twin engine design. When one of your engines is shot out, you still have another one. So I said, let's get fully spaded. But thus far, kind of impressed by this thing insofar as its, I guess, power is concerned, but not at all insofar as its ammo count is concerned. Like, it is incredibly low. That said, next match, fully spaded. So we are still actually in that halfway spaded match, and we have, what is that, a B-18 coming through? So let's see what we could do with this B-18 as, as he's going after a TA-154. That's just, oh my goodness. The plane that has such a heavy armament that would easily wipe out a bomber is essentially running from said bomber that should be wiping out. Okay, we have ourselves a nice hit. Got its cooling system, set him on fire. And look at that energy loss. I mean, I know I'm gaining in the vertical there, but it does go to show this thing has tremendous energy loss. And yes, I know I did shut off my engine, but it is very important to note that you kind of have to. This thing doesn't really have all that high of a top speed. But we do have the kill here. I'm just going to go finish him off. And aircraft destroyed. So we ended this match, 4 kills, 1 assist. Now, let's finally get into the fully spaded match. Not too bad. Okay, so here we are, fully spaded with the Whirlwind Mk.1. And I feel like this vehicle, as I think I may have said before, it is excellent. Excellent as a bomber hunter. One of the best bomber hunters relative to BR in all of War Thunder. Possibly the best outside of the P9, because you get 2 times, well, slightly more than 2 times the ammo with that. But if you're looking for something that just goes bomber hunting, this thing is amazing. And I really can't recommend it enough for that, because as you might, some of you guys might know, bomber hunting can be quite fun, genuinely. So let's go ahead and turn in on this guy, turn down a little bit here, and then I can go back and get some other people. I don't even know. But this thing is great in that regard. It's just so much fun. And we have ourselves the kill. Severe damage works for me. Now let's go turn in on this B-25 here. But as you can see, like I said, in short bursts. I'm already a third of my way down with ammo, and it's not like up until now I've been inaccurate, because I really haven't. This thing actually has, in my opinion, the Hispano Mk.1s are very accurate. Okay, we're going to count that as a kill. It says somebody took my other kill, but not a big deal here. So let's go ahead and try to get this B-25 here. But as you can see, I only have 108 rounds, which is like, what, 27 rounds of ammo per gun? Which is obviously not good. We have another severe damage, works for me. And that's 3 bomber kills. Like I said, I don't really think there's a better bomber hunter relative to BR in War Thunder. Certainly not at 3.7 BR. this thing is fantastic. It's got really nice rate of climb. It's got one of the best air spawns you can ask for in War Thunder. It's got an excellent armament. It's got pretty decent maneuverability, not absolutely fantastic. Top speed is not good, obviously, which kind of sucks. I'm going to probably die here. Okay, we have ourselves another kill. Okay, let's go activate that extinguisher and fly back to base. But not too bad. Okay, so as you can see, this thing is pretty damn good. I have a multi-strike. A multi-strike. Like, I can't say enough good things about this thing in the moments that it is active, right? Like, when it has ammo, I really don't know if there's much better that you can get at and around this BR. Insofar as just a complete package, like, that's specifically minded or melded or created, I guess you could say, for destroying bombers is concerned. Like, if you're a bomber first type of person, and then you want to go for some fighters, this might be it. This might be the best rank 3 aircraft for it, outside of, again, the Whirlwind P9. But you only get such a short burst of ammunition, which really, it's just such a, that's like its Achilles heel, you know? And so, while I do really like this aircraft, because its armament is extremely powerful, it's nose-mounted, which I feel like is incredibly important, especially when you're trying to conserve your ammunition. You don't really have to worry so much about gun convergence. Hopefully I don't slam into the ground here. It's just such an incredibly useful vehicle, and especially if you, again, are kind of the interceptor type, this vehicle, I really don't know how much better you can get than this. It's just great. So if you're that type of person, go ahead and get it. I feel like this is going to be such a fun vehicle for you. Again, especially considering its amazing air spawn, great rate of climb, good enough maneuverability, and while you have ammo, great armament. Top speed is a bit limited, but for the aircraft that you're fighting, for the most part, it's not too much of a detriment. Really, the biggest problem that you're going to run into is taking a steep dive from altitude. But that said, do I recommend it? Yes, I do. I feel like this is a really good aircraft, but mind its weaknesses. Again, those weaknesses being that this thing will rip apart at high speeds, and it doesn't have much ammo. But if you don't mind those things all too much, this vehicle, the Whirlwind Mk.1, is fantastic. But that said, thanks so much for watching. If you don't mind, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comments below, and of the Whirlwind Mk.1. Like I said, I do have a P9 gameplay video, and I felt even better about the P9 because it has much more ammo. So if you want, try to check that out. I'll try to link it below. If I don't, definitely consider searching for it. But again, thanks for watching. I'll see you all on the other side. Take care, everyone.